Here, we pay top dollar for your possessed possessions. Now, this is very, very interesting.
Welcome to the March edition of a roundup of some of the upcoming theatre and video game releases that are making March look like an amazing month in terms of entertainment. There is no shortage of great titles including Kung Fu Panda, South Park Snow Day, Rise of the Ronin, amongst many others. In this video, we'll take a look at the latest movie in the Ghostbusters franchise, the next instalment is Dune, as well as a monster of a movie, Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. And from video games, we'll take a look at probably one of the biggest titles in March that has to be Dragon's Dogma 2. We'll also take a look at news of the latest Dracula movie. Will you join me, Jolly Roger? If you enjoy this feature, it would be awesome if you could hit the subscribe and notification buttons, as well as liking the video, as this will help in growing the channel. Without further ado, let's get into it. Releasing 1st of March is the latest in the Dune saga, as it continues with Dune Part 2. This is a highly anticipated follow-up to the 2021 six-time Academy Award-winning Dune that was brought to theatres by the award-winning filmmaker Denis Villeneuve in the next chapter of the Frank Herbert's novel Dune from Warner Brothers and Legendary Pictures. Part 2 sees new and returning stars including Oscar nominee Timothée Chalamet from Wonka and Call Me By Your Name, Zendaya, who featured in Spider-Man No Way Home, Malcolm and Marie, Euphoria, as well as Rebecca Ferguson from Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, Oscar nominee Josh Brolin from Avengers Endgame and Milk, Oscar nominee Austin Butler from Elvis Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Oscar nominee Florence Pugh from Black Widow, Little Women, Dave Bautista from the Guardians of the Galaxy films, Thor Love and Thunder, and Oscar winner Christopher Walken, who's known for The Deer Hunter and Hairspray. Dune Part 2 will explore the mythic journey of Paul Atreides as he unites with Chani and the Fremen, while on a path of revenge against the conspirators who destroyed his family. Facing a choice between the love of his life and the fate of the known universe, he endeavours to prevent a terrible future only he can foresee. Also releasing in theatres is the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire movie on the 22nd of March. This sees the Spengler family return to where it all started, which is the iconic New York City firehouse. They team up with the original Ghostbusters, who've developed a top-secret research lab that takes busting ghosts to the next level. But when the discovery of an ancient artifact unleashes an evil force, the Ghostbusters, new and old, must join forces to protect their home and save the world from a second ice age. Frozen Empire is a supernatural comedy film directed by Gil Kenan, who co-wrote it with Jason Reitman. It is the 5th film in the franchise and the sequel to the 2021 Ghostbusters Afterlife. Starring Paul Rudd, Carrie Coon, Finn Wolfhard, McKenna Grace, Celeste O'Connor and Logan Kim, they reprise roles from the Afterlife and star alongside the original Ghostbusters, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, who are also joined by Annie Potts and William Atherton. Produced by Legendary Pictures and distributed by Warner Brothers, the latest entry in the MonsterVerse franchise, Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire, releases on the 27th of March internationally and the 29th of March in the USA, and is directed by Adam Wingard. The film follows up the explosive showdown of Godzilla vs. Kong, with an all-new cinematic adventure that pits the almighty Kong and the fearsome Godzilla against a colossal, undiscovered threat hidden within our world that challenges their very existence and our own. The epic new film will delve further into the histories of those titans, their origins, and the mysteries of Skull Island and beyond, while also uncovering the mythic battle that helped forge these extraordinary beings, tying them to humankind forever. The film stars Rebecca Hall, Brian Tyree Henry, Dan Stevens, Kaylee Hottle, Alex Ferns, and Fela Chern. Hall, Henry, and Hottle reprise their roles from the previous film. Releasing on the 22nd of March on PS5, Xbox Series XS and PC, my video game pick of the month is Dragon's Dogma 2. It is an action role-playing game played from a third-person perspective, and in the game the player takes on the role of a character called the Arisen. This is a hero who's marked by a dragon who they must defeat, all the while exploring the world they live in, taking on quests, fighting monsters in the process, and being caught up in a geopolitical conflict between two kingdoms. To assist in this, the Arisen relies on allies called pawns. These are non-playable characters who join the player's party, and these characters are AI controlled. But they function like player-controlled avatars who are able to assist in fights, provide information on enemies, give guidance to currently active quests. Players can each create and customise their avatar and their own pawn character with different genders, appearances and race. In addition, players can recruit 2 additional pawns that have been created by other players. It's now time to take a look at a couple of stories in the news. We start with Napoleon having a date for when it will stream on the Apple TV Plus streaming service. Taking $220 million at the box office, starring Joaquin Phoenix and brought to theatres by Ridley Scott, the film follows the rise of the military leader who became the Emperor of France, and it's certainly one to check out when it airs on the 1st of March. We finish with a look at the news of a new Dracula movie that is currently in development that will retell the Bram Stoker classic vampire story. The new adaptation will be a big budget movie, and it is currently under the working title of Dracula, a Love Tale. Bram Stoker released his tale in 1897, and since then there have been several movies to feature the iconic vampire, including Interview with a Vampire, Nosferatu, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Dracula Untold, just to name a few. Dracula, a Love Tale will see Luc Besson team up with Christoph Waltz, with Landry Jones tipped to star as Count Dracula. Not much else is known, except that Besson has a strong reputation for his style and character-driven stories, and early indications are that this adaptation is sounding promising. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next month.